Welcome to Premier League Matchday 29 predictions video. Now, it is during the week, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Unfortunately, I will not be doing Liga MX Matchday 9 predictions video. I will do Matchday 10 predictions video I will recap the games that happened on Matchday 9. So let's get to these predictions for the Premier League Match Day 29. We start off tomorrow between 10th place Bournemouth versus 7th place Brentford at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Bournemouth had a huge result against Sunderland, 1-1 draw. They were down 1-0, but then came back and took an equalizer and get them a point. Going up against Brentford, who had a hard-fought game, but a great one against Burnley in a 4-3 win against Burnley. And Brentford, by the way, they're in the mix, as I mentioned in the last prediction video, European contention. They're seeing Chelsea falling apart. Liverpool's still in the mix of Champions League mix, but they're looking at those clubs that could end up maybe miss out in Europe. So being played in Bournemouth, this is probably their toughest one for Brentford. It's a chest-to-chest match. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. 8th place Everton versus 19th place Burnley at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Everton came off a dramatic win against Newcastle 3-2. And we already mentioned Burnley lost 3-4. But go back to Everton. What a win to go to St. James's Park and win it on the road against Newcastle. And Jordan Pickford just made an incredible save. Save of the year. Oh my God, what a win for the club. Now they have to finish the season strong. They could probably end up finishing in top 10. The bad news aside is they are going to need some clubs to drop points for them to get Europe. And I could see Everton or Brentford getting Europe. I'm going to go Everton winning this one 2-0 against Burnley. 15th place Leeds United versus 12th place Sunderland at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Leeds just come off a hard-fought game against Manchester City, but lost 1-0. Going up against Sunderland, who dropped points, by the way, 1-1 draw, which is could have at least got some chances for them to win. This is two sides who were in the championship going at each other. This should be a fun one, and it's being played in Leeds Stadium. I'm going to go Leeds United. I think Leeds United, if they get this win, they could probably be secure themselves for another year in the Premier League. I like Leeds winning it 2-1 against Sunderland. 20th place Wolves versus 5th place Liverpool at 3:15 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. Wolves had a dramatic 2-0 win against Aston Villa in the Midlands Derby. Going up against Liverpool, who crushed West Ham 5-2 and still in the mix in the top 4 for a chance for them to play another year in the Champions League. So being played in Molineux. Wolves, by the way, guys, they played very well so far. Remember, they drew Arsenal, which made them to drop points. Then they played Aston Villa at home. They had a 2-0 win against them. Can they do it against Liverpool? I'm going to say Liverpool wins it. I think it's just going to be closer. So I'm going to give it Liverpool 2-1. I'll give Wolves that one goal, but Liverpool pulls the edge. 2-1. On Wednesday, 4th place Aston Villa versus 6th place Chelsea, 2:30 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. This one could decide which club is going to Champions League football for next year. Villa, as we mentioned earlier, had that tough 2-0 defeat loss to Wolves in the Midland Derby. Going up against Chelsea, who had their 2-1 loss to Arsenal in the Northwest London North in the north in the west northwest London derby to Arsenal. Villa Park is going to get rocking. They need this win. They cannot let Liverpool or Chelsea get in their spot. I like Aston Villa winning this one 2-1. 11th place Brighton versus first place Arsenal, 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Brighton coming off a 2-1 win against Nottingham Forest, and they're climbing up to the standings. They're trying to climb up at least to the top 10. Going up against Arsenal, who had that big win against Chelsea, 2-1. And that match was incredible yesterday, by the way. So, now it's Arsenal's hands. Can they make it at least either stay in a 5-point lead, which whatever happens to Man City and Forest result, or either draw, which would still make it a 3-point deficit. So I'm going to go Arsenal. They need this one, but I think Brighton will keep it close. So give me Arsenal winning it 3-1. 9th place Fulham versus 18th place West Ham at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Fulham just got a huge win against Spurs 2-1 and keeping their chances for European hopes alive. Going up against West Ham, who pulled a trigger for themselves to say, well, we lost to Liverpool 5-2. Was there chances to go back to the Premier League or stay in the Premier League? No chance. This should be a good one. This is a great one in Craven Cottage. I think West Ham could bounce back in this one, but I think it could be a draw. Give me a 1-1 draw. 2nd place, Manchester City versus 17th place, Nottingham Forest at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. City went to Leeds United, and the only goal, Semenyo only scored that one goal, and they beat them 1-0. Against Forest, who, look, if it's coming down the relegation zone, it's going to come down to West Ham and Nottingham Forest. That's it. And they just came off of the 2-1 loss to Brighton. Going up against Man City is not going to be enough. I'm going to say Man City wins it 3-0. Then the match day of the week. This should be one I think could be match day of the week. It could be Villa Chelsea. It could also be Bournemouth Brentford. But this one is match day of the week. 13th place Newcastle. Going up against 3rd place Manchester United at 3:15 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Manchester United got that 2-1 win against Crystal Palace, and because of the Villa loss, they now jump to 3rd place. And now Manchester United fans are thinking, is it the future that Manchester United will finally win the Premier League? Or is it just going to be qualification to the Champions League? And what a story so far when Michael Carrick took over this job as the interim. They're going positive right now, Manchester United, by the way. So there's a lot of positives there. Going up against Newcastle, who had that 2-3 defeat loss to Everton. And this could have been them having the chance to beat them or at least get them a draw. But they had some disappointing mistakes and let Everton take the 3 points. So this is a must-win game for Newcastle than where it is with Manchester United, because they're in a spot where they need to win this game to get them to that Champions League dream. I know Newcastle needs to win. I know Manchester United needs to win. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a classic. I just think with Manchester United playing their best, I think Newcastle needs to play their best performance against that kind of club. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Then on Thursday, 16th place Tottenham Hotspurs against 14th place Crystal Palace at 3 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. Spurs. I picked you guys to beat Fulham, which probably was one of my biggest mistakes on picking you guys. Yeah, after losing to Fulham 2-1. Yeah, things are not going well in London for them. Going up against another team that had that defeat loss, and that was Crystal Palace. 1-2 loss to Manchester United, and their season is not going in the right direction. Things are not that good for Crystal Palace. Uh this could go either way. Yeah, if Spurs win this one, you know what? They're safe in the Premier League. I'm gonna go with a 2-0 win, Spurs win. Yeah, just a 2-0 win for Spurs. But realistically, Spurs win 2-0. That's it for Premier League Match Day 29 predictions. If you've not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you have not seen my 2026 NFL Mock Draft 1.0, go check that out on my channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.